Jason Vincentis, Head of Technology.
Okay, so tell me about working at AttackForge. What's exciting about being part of this company?
What excited me initially about AttackForge, I think it's to tell you the truth, it's actually the founders of the company that excited me about AttackForge.
Okay.
It's just a genuine enthusiasm for what they do, their determination to achieve what they want, their outcome. So when I joined AttackForge, it was, if I can be part of a team that have that excitement for the job, yeah, it's infectious, and that's the reason why I find it exciting.
So, you're kind of inspired to join, and then, the actual platform and delivering it in this real kind of cultural change in testing and engineering must be quite a journey that you're on.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like, so although AttackForge is in the cybersecurity industry, I don't consider myself to be a cybersecurity person. I'm a software person. I'm a software engineer. So I've worked in a variety of industries, and so what makes it exciting is not necessarily the domain you're in. It's the impact you feel like you're having in that industry. And so there was something about the combination of the founders of the company that made me feel like I have to be a part of this team. I have to help them achieve their objective. And they will appreciate the effort that I'll put into helping them grow.
Right, so it's just like a fantastic culture that, within the team as well as kind of,
Yeah, I believe we've built a fantastic culture, but I think from my perspective, it's really been, there was just there's some sense that I got that I felt like I was missing in other situations. Like sometimes some places don't appreciate the extra lengths you go to. You need to follow more process, be more conforming, whereas in a startup cultures are more about results, and they appreciate the extra lengths you go to. So I wanted to join a team where I can make an impact.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what do you think the most important skill that you as a software engineer have brought to AttackForge?
I think when I first joined, we had a product that was, we were selling it, we were making money, the company was profitable, but it was missing just the perspective of someone coming in and just objectively assessing it as a software engineer, like what can we do better, what are the limitations of scale, and so coming in and just helping the team grow, uplifting the product, and just entrenching an engineering culture that is just the right thing for this stage of the company. I think that was the part that I've really played.
Okay. And so, what are some of the lessons that you've learned while you've been working with AttackForge?
I think it's quite interesting because, security...
Start that again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so what are some of the most important lessons you've learned on that journey, working with a small team?
Yeah, working with a small team.
And with AttackForge?
Yeah, so for me, I think the important lessons I've learned is really, security is more of an emphasis now than what it has been in the past. You always thought about security as being important, but when you work with people who are security first and foremost, you tend to think about things in a more secure way. So, it's just a more security first perspective in everything. There's more of a mindset about things that's changed.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Background there.
Fly.
Yeah, that applies. Summer.
Yeah.
Okay. So, some of the lessons again.
Yeah, so what did let me think about.
About working as a security engineer with a small team, have you kind of grown with them? Has it kind of been building, as part of your experience?
Yeah, so it's, yes. Yeah, so everything has been organic because I was the first employee of the company, and everything that is now is just grown organically, and we choose, I guess we took out things that were inefficient and added things that were efficient, and we're constantly iterating. And you don't have the opportunity in a larger company with many employees because you need a rigid process. It needs to be repeatable. When you're small and you're growing and you're finding your feet, you need to be efficient, and it's the art of like not spending time on doing things that you don't need to be spending time on. So, but it's a fact that the ability to question things and go, do we really need to do things? And the fact that is appreciated. The why, do we really need to do that? Is that really needed? Is that process really going to help us? That is the part that excites me, because that's not always appreciated.
It's an interesting point you bring up there, because I often use the analogy of an Apple remote versus a regular TV remote. You know, it's like engineers without any kind of boundaries created this massive TV remote, and it's like, well, there's space, we can put more buttons there, whereas you can do exactly the same thing with an Apple TV remote. So, excuse me, it's just about, you know, and you were touching on it there, the ability to kind of actually make good judgments about, you know, actually need less of this, you know, in order to make it more functional for the people using the product. So that sounds like one of the approaches that you brought up.
Well, it's the approaches that I've had in general towards things. It's just sometimes that's contrary to what is acceptable. Because, so okay, if you look at the story of startups, majority of startups fail, and you go, well, why do they fail? Because they're doing things in the way that almost everyone does them. So if you think, well, if that's the normal thing, then what can you do that isn't normal that might be the difference? So it's really, in Phil and Stas, it's really the opportunity to really question and go, well, maybe if there's a 90% failure rate, maybe let's try to find the things that improves the numbers for us. So that they're just open to that, and that they allow me to just do things a little bit differently. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if you do the things like everybody else does them, then expect the same outcomes, which is, you know, mostly failure.
Yeah. Cool. And so what do you love doing when you're not writing code?
Well, you know, being a family man now, when I'm not working, I'm doing things with the family. But yeah, if I have the choice of what I can do, I'm a very outdoorsy kind of person. I like off-roading, camping, that sort of thing.
Yeah. How old are the kids?
The kids are young. I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and so yeah, they're still at the stage where they're totally enamored by the dad. The dad's the strongest and the fastest and the smartest. So yeah, I'm relishing the time right now.
Excellent. All right, anything you want to add?
I think that's about it.
Cool. All right. We'll get the